I want to play exactly what Rob Parker had to say. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety because Chris Broussard actually pushes back on him from various occasions, and then Rob Parker continues to explain his point. So I want you guys to listen to that in its entirety, and I'm going to come back and react to what they had to say. Take a listen to these gentlemen here.
I think this is the worst decision that's ever happened in professional sports, and I'm dead serious when I say that. The worst.
By a team,
not just
player?
All around. Everybody involved in this, because it changes what the essence of the game has always been, which is about competition. Chris, this is what we've always talked about, and the reason why you have an NFL where you have essentially 99% of the owners are white, and yet the league is 70% black. Meritocracy is what allowed this to be the case. They didn't go out and just fill their teams with people who look like them because they own the team and said, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want to do and no one can tell me because I own the team. It was about the best people went out there, played the game, and the people who deserve to get jobs got jobs. I heard a lot of people throw around nepotism. And there's plenty of nepotism, and I've been critical of.
I was one that threw it around.
Yeah, I've plenty. And I've thrown out nepotism. Chris, it's wrong. We've seen it, especially in the front office.
Oh,
but
gosh.
But it ain't
staffs, front office,
right.
All that.
But it ain't the same as what we've seen here as far as on the field. Someone would have to show me on the field where some guy got his son a spot on a team, or some owner put his nephew on. I'll just take the last spot on the roster. It doesn't matter. I want you to be on the team because I own the team. And that's the part, I think, when LeBron looks at his legacy, that he'll be leaving the sport in a worse place than when he got here. And what I mean is he's opened up a Pandora's box now to where I don't know how you tell people not to do what he just did, right? His kid, by all of the scouts, not Rob Parker as a scout, all the scouts, smaller guard Chris, he's didn't have a great year in college, all this thing. He might have made it. He might have been able to be on a team as a non-drafted player and worked his way through and all that, right? Could have. But this was like, no, he's coming to the Lakers. Get out of the way. Don't draft him. This is all about LeBron making this happen. I remember when Tim Tebow went down to Jacksonville. People were like, what? To play a position he had never played. He was an older player, but Urban Meyer, oh, that's my next door neighbor. People weren't with it. People throw out the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, it's filled with nepotism. He has all of his kids in the front office. But I could justify a family business where you're hiring people in your family more so than I can on a team or
Why?
on a because
it's still nepotism.
No. And I'm not saying I'm against nepotism, but I'm talking. I'm against nepotism. What I'm saying is, when you play on the field, that is supposed to be based on your merit, your ability, and not. And that's where someone would have to show me where owners have done this in the past, because I can't find it. I can't find where they put somebody on a team because they own the team or they wanted to help out their kid.
Tebow was essentially nepotism.
No, but he
didn't make the team,
no,
but he got a tryout.
But I'm talking about Andy Reid's kids, Bill Belichick's kids. Did he put them on a team, or did he go, hey, you can work your way up?
Well, they would get
room.
broken in half.
Right.
I mean, they're not even remotely like here's where I disagree with you overall. And there are players. It's not just front office and coaching staff where we've seen this. Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Think he's much of a player?
But wait a minute. The difference,
he's on the Bucks.
This? Okay, but was he? Well, who drafted him?
I don't know who drafted him, but he's got a contract now with the Bucks because Giannis is on the Bucks.
No, but the Knicks drafted him, and let me say this, Chris. I'm glad you brought that up. That came after Giannis's first year when he averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds. So it wasn't as if he was a big star and they knew it. Giannis didn't even blossom yet when the Knicks drafted his brother. So that's not where
He's
Giannis
still
got
on the team.
No, but I'm talking about he was drafted originally by the Knicks after Giannis didn't have a big year. So Giannis had no play. He couldn't tell the Knicks to draft his brother. He averaged 6 points his rookie year.
It's possible that Bronny would have got drafted. Because here's the thing.
I don't believe it.
I mean, I'm told 4 teams were interested.
So you heard what Rob Parker had to say. His basic point, and one of the points that he brought up, was the fact that sports is supposed to be about merit. Meaning, because if you listen carefully, Chris Broussard was giving him various examples of where nepotism has taken place within all of sports, NFL, in the NBA. But what Rob was saying was this. He said, for instance, the owner of the most valuable sports franchise in the world, in the Dallas Cowboys, if Jerry Jones decides to give his kids positions within the organization, yes, that is nepotism, and they just got those positions because their father owns the team. He said that, but in sports is supposed to be based off of the merit, based off of the fact that, look, your abilities are getting you to wherever place you're going to be in your career. It should be based on your abilities, your accomplishments, whatever it is. That should ultimately determine how far you go in your career, or at the very least, whether or not you get drafted into the NBA. And that is a fundamental difference, because sports seems to be one of those things that is a meritocracy, right? You can't talk your way into having great results or great production. The results speak for themselves. That's an interesting point. But then, if you listen carefully, Chris Broussard then pushed back. He said, but look at the situation with the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother. And then Rob Parker brought up another good point, which was, he was like, I understand what you're saying, but the issue I'm having with your argument, or at least this example, is that Thanasis was already drafted before he got to the Milwaukee